Ex-state rep Pete Beck will be sentenced tomorrow morning for his role in massive securities fraud cases. Indictment and conviction, along with his co-conspirators, followed a Local 12 investigation which aired in November of 2012. In a sentencing memorandum recently filed by Beck's attorneys and obtained by Local 12, they now say that Beck is broke and suffering from serious medical issues. They are asking that he be put on community control rather than being sent to prison. Local 12's Rich Jaffe broke the story, which led to Beck's indictment, and he has a look at Beck's fall from lawmaker to lawbreaker.
Count 4, guilty as charged.
When he was pronounced guilty by Judge John Andrew West in June, Pete Beck stood unrepentant, still clinging to the same statements he made in our exclusive 2012 investigation, that he is actually one of the victims in the case.
I feel that I was used in this whole process, that I was taken advantage of, just like everybody else.
The everybody else was the long list of investors who together lost millions of dollars in bogus companies. Many of those investors testified against Beck and his business partners in the longest bench trial in Hamilton County history, spanning 10 weeks. All three of Beck's business partners also turned against him and agreed to testify in exchange for plea agreements. Pete Beck is a former local mayor, state representative, head of the Ohio Ways and Means Committee, and a CPA. According to the Attorney General and the victims, he used his position and status to convince clients the businesses they were dumping millions of dollars into were solid, when in reality many of them, like Christopher Technologies, were insolvent, underwater, never turning a dime of profit. Throughout the trial, Beck tried to convince the judge he was just an accountant for the companies, even though he was much more. In 2012, I presented him with his own business card, which clearly established that Pete Beck was actually the chief financial officer for one of the largest scam companies, Christopher Technologies. He denied the responsibility during the trial and in our interview.
I was never the face man for Christopher Technologies.
Tom Walter and his wife Tina lost their life savings in the fraud. They told us in 2012 and said again repeatedly on the witness stand that they invested and lost more than $360,000 because they believed in Pete Beck.
And he got him to invest $150,000 into Christopher Technologies.
And the only reason we did was because the CFO, Mr. Beck, convinced us it was financially a good risk.
Everyone agrees Beck's business partner, Tom Lysett, was really the head of the fraud conspiracy, the lead con man, but Lysett died in 2010. His wife, Janet Combs, was also indicted and pled no contest eventually to one count of receiving stolen property because her church, Ark by the River, which the Attorney General calls a cult, received more than $800,000 of the investors' money. We first told you about Combs and her group more than 20 years ago in an investigation called In the Name of God. Beck was the accountant for the church, for Lysett, and Lysett's company, TML Consulting. Originally indicted on 69 felony charges, Pete Beck was convicted on only 13. However, that baker's dozen could get him as much as 50 years in prison. After weeks of lengthy prosecution, Beck's attorneys arrested their case, not calling a single witness. In this sentencing memorandum, Beck's attorneys say he's a man who has lived his life in the service of others. They go on to say he has spent his lifetime building an impeccable reputation, and they advise the judge that Beck's potentially got a job with an accounting company should he not go to prison. But we will have to see what the judge has to say about that. His two remaining business partners, John Fussner and Chip DeMoy, are also due for sentencing coming up on August 25th. Brad?
Rob, Rich, forgive me, thanks very much. We have posted that 38-page sentencing memorandum for Beck's attorneys. It's on our website. Just go to local12.com, click on that red Get It button. The sentencing hearing is scheduled to begin tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and we will carry it live for you on local12.com.